the question of auditing auditing our budgets for corruption, to identify corruption before it happens. You'll find that the ESCC is acting in terms of, because you have got the side of planning and expenditure. There's a revenue side and there's the expenditure side. Now the revenue side is where money is planned for. And I would like to see our organs, our ESCC, or if the ESCC is not able, then we go back and revamp the anti-corruption, the economic crimes desk of the DCI, to be able to be looking at these budgets to ferret out corruption. Because you'll find that once a budget has been passed after public participation, the first thing you will see happening in county governments and even in the national government is this animal called supplementary budget, which is highly abused. They don't supplement for purposes of addressing emergencies or unforeseen circumstances as anticipated under Article 223 of the Constitution. They supplement to move money from development or from where it is difficult to steal to where it is easy to steal and hide. I would really plead that the ESCC ups its game and goes further to interrogate, to audit budgets of county governments. Audit those budgets and let there be justifications for whatever changes they are doing. The law is very clear. You can only change a budget item or a budget by not more than 10%. In my county, I've got evidence that the budget was changed by 65%. What was that serving? If it's not to distort the will of the people and maybe to serve interests that are not above board. So, Mr. Speaker, my plea would be that the ESCC, and maybe working together with the control of budget. The title control of budget must be control of budget, not an accounting officer who tells us that this money has been done this or that. Let us audit budgets for effectiveness. Let there be a mechanism for auditing budgets to ensure that budgets are effective so that when they are implemented, the effects will be felt. You can have sometimes a budget that has got totally no effect, will be implemented 100% according to the way it is, but nothing will be gained. So if we reduce the question of auditing budgets to arithmetic, we may miss it. So it's my plea that this House, as we pass this important bill to send money down to the counties, consider that. The other aspect is the question of the autonomy of our finances. And I'm happy that Senator Wambua is here. At one time we had a discussion with Senator Wambua and he promised me he was going to bring a bill to this House for us to expunge the treasury, the national treasury from the national government. I don't know how far the bill for my brother has gone with that bill. Yes, please may you inform me.
So, Senator Omtata, would you like to be informed?
Yes, only by Senator Wambua. Yes, by Senator Wambua.
Proceed, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is very true what Senator Omtata is saying, and I want to inform him that the process of drafting that bill has reached a very advanced stage. That I think now than ever before, the need to separate the National Treasury from the Ministry of Finance, that time is now, to ensure that then the division of revenue and the sharing of revenues between the two levels of government does not favor one side at the expense of the other side. So the drafting is at an advanced stage, and I hope that the Secretariat is hearing what I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, so that in the next few weeks, we can debate that bill here. I thank you.
Senator Okoiti Omtata.
Thank you, my brother, Senator Wambua. for those encouraging words. I'm happy that the drafting of that bill is at an advanced stage. I hope the drafters will take serious cognizance of Section 11 and Section 12 of the Public Finance Management Act, which purpose to create the Treasury as a ministry in the national government. I hope in that bill we shall seek to expunge or to revoke those particular sections, 11 and 12 of the Public Finance Management Act, so that we can restore control of public money back to the people of Kenya. Over and above that, I hope that a mirror image of that particular separation of finances at the national level from the executive will also take place at county government, so that every county government, the money is not placed in the hands of the governor. The money will be held by an independent civil servant. And for the governor or anybody to access that money, it must be in the budget, and the control of budget must have approved that expenditure. Let us take control of our money. Let us drain the swamp. And I'm happy my brother, Senator Wambua, has assured us that that work is ongoing. I'm happy to do that. Because if we don't do that, the money that goes to the ground is misappropriated. It's handled like money which belongs to an individual, and an individual will run around with it. We have seen the president running around non-stop, purporting to go around, do projects, whatever. If you go and check in the budget, those projects are not in the budget. It rubbishes the constitutional framework within which development in this country is supposed to be done. You have heard this common phrase that people keep on expressing, that we must be in government. We must be in government. That is not the design of democracy. The design of democracy is not that everybody should be on the government side. Democracy walks on two legs: the opposition and the government, or the minority and the majority. We cannot all be in one side. That way the country cannot stand. The issue is we should distinguish between being in government and accessing development. There should be no correlation between being in government and accessing development. That should be something we must face very clearly. So that this narrative that we must be in government, whereby government is understood as state capture, we must be part of those people who have captured the state, so that we can exploit it to our selfish and narrow interests, must stop. We must, once we separate the treasury, the national treasury, and the Ministry of Finance, and by the way, Mr. Speaker, if my memory serves me right, ministries are addressed at Article 152 of the Constitution. The Treasury is addressed at Article 225 of the Constitution. There is no way the framers of the Constitution could have imagined a Treasury that is part of is a ministry in the national government, and placed it so far away, so deep in the Constitution at 225, when they addressed the cabinet at 152. So, Mr. Speaker, that mistake that was made by the Parliament in 2012, when they created the Treasury as a ministry of the national government, needs to be fixed. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, we are engaged in a thankless task as Parliament at the national and county levels, because we don't control the money. The money is already with the executive. The executive at the national government has the knife and the cake. The executive at the county level has a knife and a cake. The county assembly is toothless. The parliament at the national level is toothless, because the weapon they are supposed to have is in the hands of the executive. Let us get money back into parliament. Let us get not the money, let us the control of money back in parliament, held by an independent civil service, and that way we shall be moving forward. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, we shall be pounding water in a mortar. We are going to get nowhere. We are going to keep on complaining, agonizing, and being told you must be in parliament, suspend your mind, you must be in government, because a government is no longer an institution of good. It's an institution of looters who, when they get into power, they have access to money and they loot that money and there are no consequences. Let us take our public money back. Let us set up the office of the national treasurer and appoint somebody with security of tenure. Put that money there. Give him the power to control that money. The president should wait for his salary. He should not have access to public money. He should not be able to have the capacity to move around and offer people projects. The projects must come through the budgets that the parliament passes, and it should be more important in this country to elect an MP than to elect a president, or to elect an MCA than to elect a governor. Because the MCA will have the decisions over how the money is used. The MP will have decisions of how that money is used. And the budgets will be what will guide development. So you will not have to be in government to access development. You just have to have a member of parliament in parliament who can put your agenda in the national budget and you access development. And that thing will also reduce the clamor for the presidency in this country. Where communities think that the presidency belongs to them, the presidency is a matter of life and death. It will stop that. It will even help us clean out our election system so that it doesn't become a weapon for capturing power, but it becomes a mechanism for filtering various and competing ideas on how the country should be run forward. And now that I've mentioned the EACC, Mr. Speaker, sir, there is a problem in the register of the EACC. And that problem needs to be fixed. We have very, very many people who are registered voters who do not have proper biometrics, especially their pictures are missing. They don't have pictures. Who are these ghost voters who don't have pictures? So even as we push for registration of new voters, I want to plead with the EACC, the IEBC, to ensure that every voter has got proper identification. Our AI tools have revealed that we have about 6 million plus to 7 million voters who do not have pictures in the voters register. The problem is very bad in some areas, and especially an area like Central Province, the former Central Province, or the so-called Mount Kenya today. You find, Mr. Speaker, we need to have those ghost voters removed so that we have a credible voter register where everybody can be identified by even facial features. We know this is so and so, this is so and so. That, Mr. Speaker, is something I really plead that this House does, so that we must, one of the mandates of the IBC is to revise the voters register. The time for revising the voters register is now. Let us revise the voters register. And as I've even prayed that the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission goes a step further and interrogates and audits the budgets of our county governments and the budgets of the national government to ferret out corruption, the same should happen with the voters register. The EACC should go into the voters register and ferret out fake voters. It should not be left that there is going that the EACC, the register of the EACC of the NE, the voters register held by the IBC, will simply be audited by some company which is selected there and there. We have an institution of anti-corruption. A fake voter is a corrupt voter. That's an aspect of corruption. So we would like to see the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission take up the National Voters Register and interrogate it to ferret out corruption. And one of the things I would like the Ethics and Anti-Corruption to do, remove all voters who do not have pictures in the voters register. Remove all of them, so that when next time we go to vote, we should only have people who are identifiable casting votes. We can't have 6 million unknown people in the voters register. We cannot. It's not acceptable. So, Mr. Speaker, I really plead that these things are intertwined, the question of money and the question of how power is acquired, how power is retained, how power is deployed in this country are interconnected. And if we want to drain the swamp in this country, we must go down lock away the money, and clean up the voters' register, so that acquiring power will be through the front door, and access to development will be assured to every citizen who is a taxpayer, irrespective of their political persuasion or worldview. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, we don't have a country. And Mr. Speaker, eternal vigilance is the burden we bear as citizens of this country. And I want to remind ourselves of the words of one of the founding fathers of the United States, one of the founding fathers, called Benjamin Franklin. It is famously stated that after they had gotten the Constitution, he was asked by somebody to tell them, what have you given us? Is it a monarchy or is it a republic? And Benjamin Franklin is quoted as having said, a republic if you can keep it. So the question is, are we the people of Kenya ready to keep the republic? We call ourselves the Republic of Kenya. We are not a kiosk. We are not a matatu. We are not anything. We are a republic. We are not a kingdom. We are not a fiefdom. We are a republic. So if we are a republic, we are a government of law. Are we being faithful to the law, beginning with the Constitution? What are our laws in this country? There is nothing else greater than the law in this country. There is no greater public interest in this country than the law. And Mr. Speaker, sir, the law is so sacrosanct that even if you go to the Bible, after creation, we are told that God told Adam and Eve to be in charge of everything that he had created. But he never told Adam and Eve to be in charge of themselves. He subjected them to the law, to the rule of law. And the day, Mr. Speaker, sir, Adam and Eve disobeyed the law, they lost paradise. So our paradise is founded on the law, is protected by the law, is the law. So, Mr. Speaker, let us go back and be faithful to our law. We clean up. The law requires us to have an independent treasury, both at the national and the county government. Let us have those independent treasuries. The law requires us to have a clean election that is verifiable, that is simple, that is accurate, that is impartial, that is conducted in a neutral manner. Let us have that election done. Let us pay attention to Chapter 7 on the elections and Chapter 12 on public finance of our Constitution. Mr. Speaker, sir, we do that, then we shall have gotten the promise of this country. The promise that is so clearly spelled out in our national anthem, that when you look at the national anthem, you see the same vision that the founding fathers of the United States had. You look at the Swahili version, not the English version of the national anthem. You look at the Swahili version, and you see a country that exists for the people, a country by the people, for the people, and of the people. You don't see a country that we have today of some, I don't even know what's going on. I lack the words which to describe it. And when I sing the national anthem, I don't know the country I'm singing the national anthem to, Mr. Speaker, sir. So I really plead with this House and my fellow senators that we step up to the plate and do these very critical things. We stop complaining and begin organizing. We stop agonizing, we begin organizing. And that organizing is within our hands. Let us support the bill Senator Mbua says he's going to bring here to separate the Treasury and the Ministry of Finance, to restore the Treasury to civilian control, to parliamentary control through civilian management, so that we can have a Treasury that is autonomous, that can serve the 47 counties and the one national government equitably, that will ensure, as the law said, that every 15th day of the month, county government should get their money. Today, that doesn't happen, because the national government, which is controlling, which has hijacked the Treasury, ensures it has a full belly before the counties are taken care of. Let us break that jinx. Let us go back to the foundation. Let us do the plumbing. Let us stop trying to mop the floor and clean out all the water we need. Right now, if you listen to the presidential candidates around and everybody talking in this country, you tend to think that what they are looking for is a super mopper, somebody who can mop all the water that's leaking from the tap. Nobody's talking about fixing the tap, getting a plumber to fix the tap. So with those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, sir, I support the motion, And I pray that we move forward as a country that has a destination which is clearly.
Senator Kinyua.
Asante Bwana Spika kunipa fursa